got like 3 guys coming. Oh, killed me. I threw a nade and see if it gets him. Nope. Coming around your left side.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is T-Space, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Tee, where you, the viewers, ask me a question relative to Battlefield 3, or off the topic of Battlefield 3. Now, I haven't done one of these episodes in a while. I think it's been either a couple months since I've done the last one. But anyhow, I'm going to start off this episode with a question from John Owe. Now, his question is, scheduling aside, would you, Appletini, Zero T, and Jessica be going out on the town on Squad Down in Gulf of Oman, where the lines of sights are shorter within the city and cut up by the undulations of the beach and compared to the open, or as compared to the open airfield where Jessica is parked on Wake Island? Actually, thinking about it, would she be called Jessica in Gulf of Oman, or would she be called Melissa? Now, if you don't know what this guy is talking about, there is a episode or a series that me, Apple, and Zero T did, or I guess using correct English, Apple T, Zero T, and I, we did an episode, or we did a series called Squad Down. It was basically a playoff of I guess you can call it the popular series called Squad Up. We just wanted to kind of poke fun at it a little bit, so we called it Squad Down. It's kind of the herp derp version of Squad Up, where we basically do wacky setups and we restrict ourselves. Like, I think our first episode was Tactical Medic Squad, where basically we can only use the RNV on the USAS with slugs, and on top of that we can only crouch. So basically we couldn't stand, we couldn't walk, we couldn't run, and we could only crouch. To make things more interesting, we were medics, and basically we would revive each other if we died. So that was pretty fun. But anyhow, in one of those episodes of Squad Down, we were playing on Wake Island, and I forgot what the setup was. I think it was playing in a skid loader the entire game, and for some reason I just wanted to name our skid loader, just given that I felt it was proper to name our skid loader, and I don't know why, but I named it Jessica. I think I named it Jessica. I don't know if anyone else named it. I'm pretty sure I named it Jessica. If I'm wrong, whatever. But basically that's where the name came from. So his question is, will we be doing another episode of Squad Down with Jessica, but on Gulf of Oman? To tell you the truth, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be doing another episode of Squad Down for at least Battlefield 3. We might do it in Battlefield 4 just for the hell of it, but I don't know. It was kind of a mutual thing between me, Apple, and Zero T, or Appletini, Zero T, and I. God, I gotta stop doing that. Anyhow, it was kind of a mutual thing. We kind of didn't talk about stopping the series. We just kind of stopped. I don't know. It was kind of like a spontaneous event where we did it and then we just stopped it. I don't know what happened. We just lost interest, I guess. So hopefully that answers your question, John Owe. Let us move on to the next question. The next question comes in from Wesley, and his question is, sup T-Space, if I go, oh whoops, I think that's supposed to say got. So if I got a PC, would you be my friend on Battlelog? Now, I've gotten this question a lot, and I don't really like to answer this question, just given that my general question, or my general answer, is going to be no. Now, let me explain myself before you guys get, I guess, too hurt. The reason why I would say no is because I like to put people that are truly a friend of mine. And the reason why I say that is because I don't want to just randomly add people that I personally don't know. Because it would just be awkward, and it also kind of defeats the purpose of friends for Battlelog. Like, I could scroll down throughout my entire Battlelog list and remember each and every person with at least one memory, one fond memory. And if I could do that, then you're going to be on my friends list. But if not, then I can't really accept you as a friend, just given that I don't feel like we're friends. I mean, think of it this way. Most of you, I'm pretty sure most of you are on Facebook, right? And I'm assuming most of you have anywhere between 50 to 300 friends on your Facebook. But now ask yourself, do you know each and every one of these people, or do you only talk to a select few? I mean, I personally think that people mainly have around 8 friends or so that they truly keep in contact with, and they can truly call their friends. Like, these friends will do anything for them. Like, if you are moving and you want to, you need help setting up your new place, this person will come over. That is a friend to me. Someone that, would do almost anything for you. I don't know, whether that be watching your dog, washing a car, taking you to the airport, picking you up from the airport, letting you stay at their house, stuff like that. Those are friends. Now, online, that's completely different. So, in a way, if you aren't, or if I don't have a fond memory of you, I can't really consider you my friend. So this is kind of a very sad answer, but I'm gonna have to say no. I probably would not add you on Battlelog just because I wouldn't, or I don't have a fond memory of you. I mean, I remember you from YouTube by just you commenting and you always giving me questions on Off the Tee, but there isn't a true connection, if that makes sense. So for an example, I met this person called you Normal. I think that's his name, and I met him through Zero T. He played with Zero T when Zero T would live stream a lot, and overall we got to talking on his vent, or on his Mumble. We were talking about the Battlefield 4 alpha that was showcased during E3, and overall I would say we struck up a good conversation. A lot of our ideals pretty much intertwined, and overall I had a good time talking with this guy. And overall I'm trying to search for him on Battlelog, but I haven't been searching hard enough, I guess. But basically I think that this person is a person I can consider a friend, given that we had that, I guess, that interaction talking about Battlefield 4. So if any way, shape, or form we have an interaction like that, then I will consider adding you on Battlelog, because I can say, oh, I remember this guy. We had that talk about yada yada yada, and then I feel like we're actually somewhat friends. So since we haven't had that event, or whatever you want to call it, I can't really say that you are a friend to me. I can call you an acquaintance because I see you on YouTube, see you commenting and all like that. But other than that, I don't really think we have that friendship connection, if that makes sense. Now, don't kind of force it, given that I told you how to be a friend with me, but just kind of let it just let it happen normally, I guess. I mean, things that are forced never come out the way you want them to. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm sorry it was kind of a downer question, but I do appreciate you sending it in. Alright, let's move on to the next question. The next question comes from Voodoo. So first, for the next episode of Off the Tee, I have 2 questions, totally different and random. So the first question, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. I know I'm just kind of a normal, boring guy, right? The second question is, if you had a chance to film, direct, and write a script of your own movie, what would it be? Now, this is probably after reading this question, this is probably my favorite question that I've ever gotten in this series. Given that it's so in depth that it's not serious, because it's a movie. Like I've gotten questions in the past that were pretty in depth about whether that be I don't know, competitive scenes in certain games, or current events around the world. But although they were in depth, this is probably my favorite question that is also in depth. Because thinking about it, making a movie takes a ton of effort. Like you have to script the film, or you have to script the characters. You have to write the plot. You have to decide whether it's going to be a drama or whatever classification it should be in. And then you film the movie, and then you have to edit it and everything like that. I mean, of course there's going to be a team, but still, it's a ton of work. I mean, if you ever fucking looked at the credits, there's like a billion names. I mean, I would hate to be the guy that had to search through every single name, saying, okay, my client's there, just to make sure that they got credit. I mean, I would hate that job. That'd be the most monotonous job in the entire world. I mean, if you got paid well, maybe I could overlook the whole boring aspect of the job, but overall I probably wouldn't want to do that job. Anyhow, if I had the chance to make a film, direct it, and script it, I would probably do something that would break the norm. Now, the reason why I want to break the norm is because when you think of a movie, it has to be classified in a specific genre, whether that be drama, action, thriller, horror, or anything like that. Basically, those films are, directly associated with one of these genres, and they can't be anything else, given that they are, in that section. Like, a horror film cannot be a... God, how do I put this? A horror film cannot be a cutesy movie, if that makes sense. I guess it could be, but then that would just be goddamn creepy, and then that would just bring it back to horror. So let me do a different example. Oh God. Okay, a documentary cannot be a fictional, or no, a documentary cannot be Yeah, I guess a documentary cannot be a fictional film. Just given that if it's a documentary, it has to be something about someone, whether that be or whether that be a real person or a fictional person. It is about that person. Like, it can't be. Oh God, I don't know. It just doesn't mix. Let's just leave it at that. I can't think of a good example to describe what I'm trying to say. But anyhow, I would like to break the norm. So, for instance, if I had a chance to make a movie, I would make the best action film with the best storyline. I mean, think of it this way. Most action films, actually, if not all action films, have a pathetic plot. I'm sorry, they're just bad as fuck. It's if you go to watch an action film for the storyline, there is something mentally wrong with you. Or maybe you're seeing something that us normal people haven't seen yet. But overall, for the most part, action films do not have a good plot. They're pretty bad. They're very simple-minded, one direction. It's not complicated. It's either, okay, this guy stole some shit from this guy, and you're hired to kill that guy, so you kill him, and then the movie's over. And then there's, Michael Bay explosions in between that process. I mean, that's what an action film is. Now, if I had the chance to do it, I would try to make an action film with an in-depth storyline. Like, it would be a trilogy. It wouldn't just be one movie, it would be a goddamn trilogy. I would work on the development of each character to the point where if a character is cut from the entire trilogy, you would feel like you've lost something, like you've lost a part of yourself, like you would have a connection with this character. And if you lost that character, then you'd be so heartbroken and you'd be like, oh God, why did he die? Blah, blah, blah. I love this character. He was amazing. He was total badass and blah, 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 right? And that would be, in my opinion, the best movie in the entire world. If someone can ever make an action film with the best storyline, like ever, or like the best plot, it would win all the awards. If it was a live action, like with real actors, it would still win the award for best animation. That's how awesome this movie would be. But of course, I'm not a film writer or anything like that, so that'll probably never ever happen. So hopefully I answered your question. Let us move on to the last and final question. The last and final question comes from Sup, I'm Miguel. And his question is, or he has a couple questions. His first question is, so, are you feeling excited for Battlefield 4? And will you ever use dual sights on a sniper rifle? For instance, if you are close range, you can use the optics of your choice to switch over from the scope to a different magnification. What do you think? Now, overall, I am excited for Battlefield 4, but given that it hasn't come out yet, or I haven't played the beta, or the alpha or whatever, I can't really, set my hype too hyped up. I don't know. Like, I don't want to hype myself up for Battlefield 4 and then get kind of demolished when it turns out to be bad. I mean, I am excited for the game, but I wouldn't say I'm overhyped. Now, if I would ever use a dual scope, it would actually kind of depend. Given that I'm assuming the dual scoped is an attachment, meaning there are 3 attachments. Well, I assume there are 3 attachments for each weapon. If it's an extra attachment and it takes up a slot for something that I consider to be better, like let's say for an example, it takes up the slot for the straight pole bolt, which I would assume is in the game. And if it's in the game and it works just like it does in Battlefield 3, it would increase my reload time. So for instance, if that was the case, like if this second scope, took the place of a pole bolt, I would probably pick the pole bolt over the secondary scope, given that it would give me a higher rate of fire. For bolt actions, that's a pretty big deal. But if it doesn't take up an important gadget, then yeah, why not? I mean, it would be interesting for me to try it out, but overall, it would be probably twice as hard. I don't know if most of you guys remember, but basically in the past when I, talked about selecting your sniper rifle and selecting the scope and whatnot, it had to be the same thing. Basically, once you picked your setup, you would have to stick with it, because if you didn't stick with it, then you would pretty much have to relearn the entire gun all over again. So given that there are 2 scopes, I pretty much have to learn the gun twice, if that makes sense, because they're going to be either different magnifications. Well, I'm assuming they're going to be different magnifications, because one's going to be the iron sights, because I don't think you could have like 2 optical scopes. That'd be kind of weird. But the one's going to be the iron sights, and the other one's going to be the optical scope, and it's just going to take a little more getting used to. It'll probably take me a little longer than it would if I only had a single scope to use. But nonetheless, if it doesn't take up an important spot or a gadget or whatever, then yeah, I wouldn't mind using it. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'd be a very viable gadget to use. Also, I almost forgot, his last question was tits or ass. I've gotten this question I think about 5 times already. I am a tits person. If you don't know why, I'm pretty sure you can just search through the past episodes of Off the Tee. But that pretty much wraps up today's episode of Off the Tee. If you do want to send in a question and have it answered in one of these episodes, please title it Off the Tee, just so that it makes it a lot easier for me to organize them and find them. And keep in mind, this question or these questions can be, I guess, as crazy as you want them to be. They're not requests. Keep in mind they're questions, so keep them as questions, not requests. But if they're simple as, do you like toast or brownies or something like that, I mean, I'll answer it. Just make sure it's not a request. Because I wouldn't really call those truly questions. So anyhow, I hope you guys did enjoy the gameplay in the background. Hopefully enjoyed my commentary and my answers to these 4 questions. But like always, my name is T-Space, and I will catch you guys later.